The comeback of the golden 20s, a positive outlook. 100 years ago, in the 1920s, people went through a golden era. The 1920s was shaped by an economic upswing after World War I and the end of the Spanish flu, which killed around 5 million people. This time stands for a prime time for the economy, art, and culture. Could the golden 20s have a comeback? The beginning of the 2020s was primarily defined by the pandemic of the century. Suddenly our lives changed in a way we could not even have imagined. From one day to another, it seemed like the whole world stood still, and we had to stay in our safe environments of our homes, instead of enjoying our lives outside. We could not travel or meet our friends, and a lot of people were getting sick. Regardless of how bumpy the start into the 20s was, we believe that we will survive this pandemic, and the golden era could come back. How this could look like is the topic of this video. Be prepared for 8 reasons why we should be giving the 20s a chance. Number 1. The economy will recover and boom. After 1 full year of closed countries and new regulations, it will feel very good to be outside and move freely. Eating an ice cream in the city or dining out will feel amazing. Even visiting a zoo or going to the movies will feel more special. Normal things will come back, but they will not feel as self-evident as before. Number 2. The extravagant life will come back. Surviving a pandemic will make us feel amazing. I mean, who else can say that? People will party like crazy, and probably even harder than before. The parties and clothes will get more extravagant, and we believe the 20s will come back with all their golden beauty. Number 3. A future with medical advances in biotechnologies. New research, medical developments, and new technologies like the mRNA vaccines let us hope that maybe a cure for cancer can be found. This could make us win the battle against one of the deadliest diseases of our century. The pandemic also showed that we can be extremely fast when it comes to reacting and adapting in a crisis situation. Number 4. Advantages of a zero-interest world. That the interest rates reached an all-time low everywhere doesn't have only negative outcomes. It's true that more and more banks are charging wealthy people even a negative interest on their money, but this also opens up the chances for everyone who wants to borrow money from banks for cheap. This money could be used for buying properties or fund projects. Number 5. Get a grip on climate crisis. For years, climate activists and scientists are warning us of the impacts the climate crisis could have. Now the politicians seem to also get it, and countries are starting to do something to stop the climate crisis from happening. The 20s could be filled with new projects on getting more energy from wind, water, and solar power. The cities could be greener, and according to Elon Musk's The Boring Company, roads could be in the undergrounds, and we could rebuild forests where the roads were before. The human species could go back living in harmony with the nature in an urban environment. We also see a movement in the meat and dairy industry. It is common knowledge that the meat and dairy industry has a big impact on the Amazon deforestation, which is then fueling climate change. But younger generations are rooting on a more sustainable way for producing meat and consuming more and more meat substitutes. It is getting more normal that also the average consumer goes shopping with their own bag, uses a reusable mug for their coffee, and a reusable straw for their drinks. Number 6. The age of digitalization and innovation. The pandemic showed how digitalization is how we will move forward. We found out that for a lot of jobs, we do not need to be physically there. That's why also schools need to become more digital, and every child should have access to computers and the internet, so that the education is still possible even in a crisis situation. Work from home also opened up a lot of chances, more than we thought actually. Before the pandemic, working from home was not always accepted. After, it might be part of the new normal. And this could lead to employees working from the comfort of their home from every place on this earth that has an internet connection. This could lead to people moving away from big cities and moving more into the countryside to be closer to nature. Number 7. The new travel. The pandemic also changed our view on traveling the world. Since we could not really travel for 1 year, we could explore our cities and living places more. We found out that it's actually nice where we live and that we do not need to travel around the globe to have fun. This could help the climate change as we could start to travel more locally and closer to our homes. This means we wouldn't always fly out, we would fly less, and we could even use the train more. Number 8. More unified than divided. In the last decade, social media took a bigger and bigger role in our lives. The algorithms were optimized to show us what we want to see, which led to a polarization of opinions and groups. It seems like every group is standing for itself. We cannot even agree to disagree. Maybe surviving a pandemic together lets us see that we should be unified, and that, yes, we can have different opinions, and that there is no one answer. We are part of this world and we can shape it. In this video, we decided to have a positive outlook and stay optimistic. What do you think about the coming 20s? Let us know and leave a comment. Did you like our video? If yes, please hit the like button. We will see each other in the next video.